is we are building a beautiful enclosure for bald eagles. This is where all that inspiration comes from. Biomimicry abounds in this area. It is all over the place. We have serious issues with groundwater. This is going to cause a problem for this brand new eagle enclosure. Hey, what's up everybody? I'm the Pond Professor here. I am back at the Central Florida Zoo, an amazing facility just on the outskirts of Orlando, Florida. It is hot, it is steamy, and I am standing in the middle of a swamp because what better place to build a zoo than in a natural, beautiful, swampy, lowland type of an area, which is basically most of Florida, honestly. And it does make the perfect habitat. I love having the mature trees and these beautiful oak trees with the Spanish moss coming off of them and everything. It just creates that really unique ambiance that we're looking for from a zoological perspective. So what we're doing here during this trip is we are building a beautiful enclosure for bald eagles, which is symbolic for the United States. So this is an honor for us to be doing something here at the zoo to help and rehabilitate these animals. So these are older eagles. We have to take in certain precautions with them, and what we need to do is design a water feature that is conducive to their natural habitats. A very unique species, and they are piscivorous, which means they do eat fish. If you've ever seen them along rivers and lakes and things, they're going to come down and swoop out and they're going to grab hold of large fish that they're going to feast on. So what we want to do is mimic a small little aquatic ecosystem. It can't be that deep just because these are older eagles and they are going through a rehabilitation process. So we have to be conscious of that. It's going to be a relatively shallow body of water, but because of that, we are still digging down into the substrate. As soon as we dig down into the substrate here in Florida, I'm actually standing on smushy, wet soil right now, and that is normal. If I dig down 2 inches, it's going to fill up with water. We have to go down 16 inches. So we're going to raise the elevation and then we're going to dig down just a little bit. But because of that, we have to de-water everything. We got to pull water out of that substrate so it allows us to do our construction. Once I start digging, I'm not going to be able to stop. I want to get that rubber membrane in place and I have to get that ballast on top. So we have a few engineering challenges that we're going to have to deal with on this particular project. But all I know is in the end, it is going to be a fantastic feature and a beautiful addition to this amazing zoo. Had to take advantage of the beautiful Rock Springs natural area just outside of Orlando. We're getting inspiration for the bald eagle project. Plus, it is smoking hot outside, so jumping in one of these natural springs is just amazing. And this mimics those recreational ponds that I love designing and building. But today, the rest of this week, we're going to create this beautiful water feature for the bald eagles. This is where all that inspiration comes from. Biomimicry abounds in this area. It is all over the place. All you have to do is stop, look, watch, listen, soak it all in. Let's go explore. We are in the spectacular springs of Florida. As you can see, very, very popular from a recreational standpoint. These areas were very, very important for the indigenous people of the area, as well as for explorers that came here to the country. I mean, just look at this. This is just truly magical. The type of area where we get all of our inspiration. Mother Nature is just fantastic. These little riparian zones, these are the most biodiverse habitats on the planet. The area where the water meets the land, loaded with life. So everything is going to come to the edge of this ecosystem for precious water. The water clarity is just unreal. But you look at the palms and everything along the perimeter, everybody enjoying everything. This is the basis of a recreational ecosystem pond. This is living water. Water the way nature intended it to be. It's bubbling up from the earth. Our biofiltration system mimics these natural actions. Our wetland filtration is biomimicry. We are mimicking natural ecosystem services. So this bedrock, the limestone that's found here, is actually what creates this incredible water quality and allows these springs to exist here. The soft limestone actually erodes due to rainwater, and it creates cracks and fissures and everything going through it. Rainwater comes down, it filters through many miles of underground bedrock, and it pops out through a series of springs dotted throughout Florida. So this is exactly what I'm talking about using over at the Central Florida Zoo. I want to mix in some of this natural wood element, which obviously is found right here in nature, but you can see you're going to find a diversity of different organisms associated on a piece of wood than you would on sand, rock, gravel, or anything else. But the combination of all of these together is what creates the incredible biodiversity that we're going to find right here in Central Florida. Exactly why I want to use it. Okay, I am here with Kelly. She is the resident bird expert, and you're going to give us a little bit of information on these amazing animals.
Yeah, so in our exhibit we have two of our amazing eagles, Glory and Davidson. Glory is around 20 years old, Davidson is around 30 years old. They've been with us for quite a while. Rehabilitated eagles, so they were found injured in the wild, both sustained right wing injuries, and they can no longer fly anymore. Oh, wow. They cannot be released into the wild, so they're going to spend the rest of their lives here with us at the zoo. So we're really excited to have this pond. They interact with the water a lot. They do a lot of fishing, so they're really going to love this water feature. They're going to be able to bathe in it and do a lot of natural behaviors. Eagles just love the water.
That's
so
awesome.
We're really excited to do that for
Oh my
them.
gosh, well this is an amazing place. I mean, I love the enclosure here so far. It's an honor for us to be here working with you,
awesome.
Learning from you, and I can't wait to see them in here.
Thank you.
Awesome. I am totally excited to be back here at the Central Florida Zoo. We're doing the project for the bald eagles, but I had to check out the project that we built last year. This is for the radiated tortoise, which is a really cool animal. I mean, just check them out right now. So they're sitting right inside of the water feature that we built last year, utilizing the feature. Particular species of animal, they don't have access to running water all the time, but they are in an area that gets heavy rains at certain times of the year. So they have a rainy period. During that rainy period, they're gonna have water that's gonna kind of have flash floods coming out of the mountainous areas, which creates these alluvial fans and washes and things like that. That's exactly what this feature was designed to mimic. So I think everything is looking really good here. The tortoises are enjoying it. Creating water the way nature intended it is what it is all about. So this has life inside the water, and that's what I love about designing and building natural ecosystems.
One of the things that I like about the regional builds and all the Aquascape events is that we get to showcase some of the newer pond builders, especially with the machine, showing them how to operate, strap and set boulders, kind of some of the safety measures that we take when we're running a piece of equipment as well. Teaching is very rewarding for me personally, and I'm sure for my business partner as well. He loves to teach and show that to some of the people that are a little newer in the field, and part of growing the tribe.
We're working with one of our standard pond kits, which you don't actually see me do a lot of. Most of the stuff I'm working on is massive, very complex systems. But what I love about what we do is that concept of fractals, expanding or contracting geometries. The concepts, the philosophies, everything are exactly the same. So this standard pond kit that I'm working with is our 11x16 kit, which is a staple in the industry. It's a beautiful water feature for any application, even for bald eagles. The only difference that we're working here is I'm going to bring some of our heavy duty fabric over the top of the rubber membrane as well as under it to give us an extra layer of precaution, because if you've ever seen an eagle, they have massive talons. They're going to be going down inside of the pond. I do not want to risk them going down and damaging the rubber membrane. If that happens, then we're going to have an issue. It's going to be a leak. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover everything up, and then we're going to bring in large boulders and cobblestones and things like that to barricade everything. But what we have from a design standpoint, very simple. We're starting out the water. The very first thing we did this morning was set the biofalls. That's because we're going to start building up and mounding up the area around that waterfall area. It's not going to be very large because of the requirements that we heard about from the animal keepers. They didn't want a very high waterfall. They don't want a very deep pond. So it's just going to be a very simple system, but we have to ensure everything operates efficiently. Waterfall is going to be at the higher location. It's going to be kind of a twisting, turning stream system. We already have existing power here, so we're going to turn the pond and it's going to end up with our skimmer system at the far end of the pike. So this will be a nice little recirculating system. It's going to be very, very efficient design, and it should deliver good water quality for us. By raising up the perimeter of everything, getting above that swampy zone, I'm hoping it's going to give us better water quality, because what they've had in the past during heavy rains, this area will build up with water and it was flooding out the existing water feature that they had here, which is causing maintenance issues for the staff. We're trying to make their job as easy as possible. Number one thing is animals. Number two is going to be the animal keepers, how they have to maintain everything. We want to make their job easier. The third one is obviously going to be aesthetics, because we want everybody coming through the zoo to have an incredible experience, which is why we're trying to lower the maintenance and create a self-sustaining ecosystem that mimics nature.